What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I am really excited for this video because I realized that I've never really shared like a lot of the beginning of my fitness journey with you guys and how I lost the weight, how I kept it off, and basically how I made fitness a lifestyle and how I was able to stick through it and kind of get to where I am today. So I just want to put out there that my journey had nothing to do with detox teas, waist trainers, weight loss shakes, weight loss pills, fat loss pills, avoiding certain foods, or eating certain fat loss foods. I'm here to break that myth. None of those things are long-term sustainable or even really mostly effective at all. So I just want to share with you guys the real raw story of how I got to where I am today and how you can do the exact same thing and how you can stick to this lifestyle, stick to being consistent with workouts, stick to eating a healthy, wholesome diet. It's just funny how many questions I still get on my Instagram, here on YouTube, on TikTok, of people just asking, what foods should I avoid for this? What are good shakes that I can drink for breakfast? Or I don't even know, just crazy questions. So I really wanted to make this to just clear that kind of stuff up and to just get across the point that there really are no shortcuts, but that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the journey and enjoy your process. And that's again how I'm going to kind of go about this video, is just sharing my journey and how I was able to stick to it and enjoy it, get results, and live it out. So just to kind of keep this video structured so I don't end up ranting, I'm going to break it up into 6 different sections, 6 different categories of how I lost 20 pounds in the beginning, how I was able to keep it off, and again, make this a lifestyle. So before hopping into today's video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps support my channel. And also don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. And with that, let's just get right into the video. So I started my health and fitness journey when I was actually about 19 or 20. I had low energy, I had stomach aches all the time, I had gained weight after high school, all through elementary, middle, and high school. I was very active. I did dance, cheer, I was on the pom team in high school, so I was always working out, always active, and obviously your metabolism is much faster. It's a lot easier to be able to just eat whatever you want, you're moving all the time, and you're young, so you're not really gaining the weight, nor are you even thinking about that stuff. So again, after high school, I gained about 15 or 20 pounds, I wanna say. And besides the physical aspect, like I said, I had low energy. I was dealing with stomach aches on almost a daily basis, very sluggish, and just I knew that I could look and feel a lot better. So again, this was when I was about 19 years old that I kind of had this realization. And that's also when I found out that I was gluten intolerant, which is why I was having these stomach aches every single day. So once I found out I had to be gluten-free, I think between that, my mom, and my first business venture, which was called Vima, don't know if you've ever heard of it. I talked about it in my entrepreneurial story here on YouTube, but between those 3 things, that is really what kind of propelled me into taking an interest in health. So before my passion for fitness started, it actually started with a passion for health and ingredients and nutrition and healing my body through food. That interest kind of turned into a passion. I started feeling way better once I eliminated gluten, and then again, that really motivated me to do my own research on other health aspects and ingredients and food and nutrition, which eventually led me into fitness and everything like that. So with that little backstory, that kind of leads me into my first point, or the first way, I guess, that I was able to lose the 20 pounds and stick to it. And the first thing was that I made a decision. So that might sound really simple, like, oh, well, I want to lose weight, or I want to get healthy. I've made that decision and like it just didn't happen. But there's a difference between saying you want to do something or you should do something versus saying I'm going to do this, and making a commitment and making a decision in your mind, like this is what I want, this is what I'm doing, that's it, period, no turning back. And that's a really powerful moment when you make that decision, and it could be for health and fitness, it could be for a business, it could be for literally anything. But when you make a decision in life that this is what I'm doing, that's it, period, that's really the first step to change. So before I had made that decision, I had told myself, oh, I should get healthy, I should work out, I should do all these things. And so I was just dabbling, you know, I was dabbling at the gym. I would go there, I would walk on the treadmill on an incline because I didn't know what else to do. I would use the machines. I wasn't doing anything free weight. I wasn't doing any high intensity interval training. I just really didn't know what I was doing. I was dabbling. Again, I had no confidence in what I was doing, so I never wanted to go to the gym because I wasn't clear what to do when I was there. And so I started looking up fitness accounts on Instagram. At the time, it wasn't as big as it is now. Now it seems like everybody and their mom and their sister and their aunt and their brother and their dog have a fitness account. So it wasn't like that then, because like I said, that was when I was 19 and 20, and now I am 26. So there were definitely fitness and health accounts out there, but again, it just wasn't as common or as popular as it is today. So I found a few accounts, and I really wish I could remember like who they were, but I truly, honestly cannot remember exactly who the accounts were. And I wish I could, because they had a lot to do with my journey. I know Kayla It Signs was definitely one of them, which is funny because, although I admire her and totally respect everything that she's done, her style of workouts and her, just style in general, it's funny, it's just like very different than mine, but she was somebody that really showed me just the online internet fitness space and really motivated me to like learn about workouts and stuff like that. So I know at the time I started buying some online programs from some people and just educating myself through videos and bodybuilding.com, again, Instagram accounts, watching workout videos online, and just teaching myself what it was that I wanted to know to get the results that I wanted to get, so that I wasn't going to the gym and just walking around aimlessly, feeling uncomfortable, not feeling confident, and just kind of going on the treadmill and leaving because I didn't know what to do. So the second thing that I think is really important and really helpful, and something that I did and can help just about anybody when they're wanting to change their lifestyle, is having accountability. So that could be an accountability partner. So that could be someone that you actually go to the gym with. For me, that was one part of it. But the second part for me, and this is obviously not required, but this is just what I did in my story. My second form of accountability was that I started my Instagram account, which is the Instagram account that some of you may follow today, my Haley Elise Fit Instagram account. I started it for multiple reasons, but one of those reasons was accountability. It was to track my own progress. It was to share with people the knowledge that I had learned that had changed my life, that had made me feel better, had made me look better. And so it really did make me feel accountable, because once I started posting, I'm like, well, I have to keep posting. And I had people that were interested in my posts. And then kind of going back to having an accountability partner, if you can find someone that can go to the gym with you, or do your workouts with you, or go to your workout classes with you, or whatever it is, whatever style of workout you enjoy, just doing that with someone is so powerful. And it's funny because my accountability partner in the beginning was actually my husband, but at the time we were not even dating, we were just friends. We were actually, I think we were dating other people, I don't remember, but we were totally just friends when we first started going to the gym together. And it's funny because the first time that we ever worked out together, I think he was like showing me some back and bicep exercises. And we laugh about it now because he was showing me these workouts and I was like so sore, and he was like not critiquing me in a negative way, but just, showing me what to do. And now it's like the opposite. We go to the gym and I'm like, you should be doing that. You should be doing this. You just need to fix your form. Like the tables have turned, because it kind of became my passion, where with Alex, it's more just something he does to maintain his health. But it's definitely not like a passion of his. So it's just funny because, the tables kind of turned a little bit. But if you can find someone to go to the gym with and have that accountability, it really helps you to push yourself on the days where you're like, oh, it's raining, or I just don't feel like going, or like whatever it is. But then your workout partner is texting you like, hey, I'll meet you there in 15 minutes. It's like, all right, well, I'm not gonna bail on them. So that can really help. And yeah, just kind of being there for each other, having a partner when you're there. I know a lot of people deal with gym intimidation, so they just feel uncomfortable when they're at the gym, and having a partner can definitely help with that because you're in it together. So yeah, there's a ton of reasons why I think having a workout partner is extremely helpful, but if you can do that, I highly recommend. If not, finding some other form of accountability is really, really key. The third thing that I did was I found a workout style that I actually really, truly enjoyed. So throughout the years before, when I was dabbling within fitness, I would try workout classes in Zumba and kickboxing and just different styles of workouts. And I discovered that it wasn't until bodybuilding or weightlifting that I really enjoyed going to the gym. Not to mention, I realized that those style of workouts were going to shape my body in the way that I actually wanted, where like the cardio classes and stuff are great, but when you're just doing that, you know, you're not gonna build the curves, you're not gonna build muscle necessarily in the way that you would if you were lifting weights, bodybuilding, etc. So I found a workout style that I actually enjoyed doing, and I think that that is so key, because a lot of people think, oh, well, I have to do these type of workouts to get the results because that girl looks really good and that's what she's doing. But if you don't enjoy doing it and you dread going every single solitary day, you're not gonna stick to it. So if you love doing yoga, or you love going to kickboxing classes, or you love high intensity interval training workouts, or you love cardio and you're a psychopath, then do that. Do whatever it is that you enjoy doing. Movement is movement. Any movement is positive. Any movement is going to help you live a healthier lifestyle, have a healthy heart, lose weight. So it's just, you have to find what you enjoy, and don't just feel like there is one way to get in shape and be healthy, because there's totally not. I obviously love weightlifting, weight training. I do high intensity interval training workouts, sprints, stuff like that, because that's what gets me towards my goals. That's what makes me feel good, and that's what I enjoy doing in the gym. But that doesn't mean that's what's best for you. So that's really key, is finding what you enjoy so that you can actually stick to it. And of course, even if you find what you enjoy, it doesn't mean that you're gonna be motivated to do it every day, because there's plenty of days where I don't wanna go to the gym and do the style of workouts that I do like, but you wanna be motivated some of the time, or most of the time. And again, you'll know if you're enjoying your workouts, because you're gonna love the way you feel after, you're going to sometimes be in the mood to do it, or whatever. So yeah, just finding the style you enjoy is really, really important. The fourth thing that is just crucial is figuring out an eating style that works for you and your lifestyle. So when I first got introduced to health and fitness, first got into everything, I was eating intuitively, which just means eating when I was hungry, stopping when I was full. For some people, that eating style is amazing. For others, it doesn't work as well. So what I found for me is that it did help me in the beginning to lose weight, just because I was making better choices. So I was having smaller portion sizes. I was making sure that I was eating vegetables with every single meal. I was eating really nutrient-dense foods, mainly whole foods. So I was switching up the kinds of foods that I was eating, and I was just simply eating less. I was just, if I would go out to a restaurant, I would literally get my food, I would split it in half, ask for a box, and put half of that food away right away, so that I wouldn't even be tempted to continue picking at it, because we all know when you go to a restaurant, you get way too much freaking food. So you do not need all that food. So that's a great tip just in general for anybody, is always just put half of that food away right away, and plus you're gonna be glad you have leftovers when you get to eat them later. So that was something that I would do, is I would just really watch my portion sizes, and I was really making sure that I was getting a ton of fruits and vegetables and whole foods in my diet. And then I got to the point where I lost the weight. I was really proud of myself, but I really wanted to build muscle and kind of shape my physique, and I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to do that by continuing with that eating style. Again, for some people, intuitive eating works forever, and that's amazing, and that's why this whole point is finding what works for you, an eating style that you can stick to. But for me, I decided to go down the tracking macros route, or it's also called If It Fits Your Macros, flexible dieting. There's a couple different names for it. And that is what I have done from the age of 21 up until now. And again, I am 26. So I have tracked macros throughout this entire time, and it is what has given me the results that I have. I would not be where I'm at today without tracking macros. But again, you have to find whatever style it is that you like, that you enjoy. The reason I enjoy macros is because you are tracking your proteins, your fats, and your carbs every single day, and you get a certain amount of each of those in your diet daily. So you can essentially fit whatever foods you want into those daily macros as long as you're hitting those numbers. So what that means is that you don't have to cut out any food groups. You don't have to cut out carbs, fats, proteins. You don't even have to cut out sweets. You don't have to cut out anything. You can still have all of your favorite foods. They just have to fit within your macros. Now, the fact that I am still super passionate about health and my inside health, I do eat still mainly whole, healthy, nutrient-dense foods and fill my macros with those foods. But the reason that I still love it is because it does give me that flexibility to have treats, to have cheat meals, if you will, and not feel bad about it, and know that I'm still even on track. It's not even putting me backwards, because I'm still hitting those numbers. So for me, tracking macros has been totally life-changing, but I know that some people don't like it. I will say that if you have never tried it, it is a great learning experience. I've talked about this in a ton of my YouTube videos just because it is something I am so passionate about and it has worked so well for me. And what it does is it teaches you about portion sizes, because a lot of times we think that we're eating one portion or one serving size of something when in reality we're eating 3 serving sizes of it, because a lot of times when you are looking at a food label, the serving sizes are ridiculous. It's like 4 chips. It's like, okay, nobody eats 4 chips. So it's just a really, really great learning experience. I do have a guide to tracking macros ebook that is always linked below in the description that you guys can check out if you're interested in learning how to track macros, what they are, what your macros should be for your body and your goals, etc. So again, finding an eating style that worked for me was absolutely key. It has kept me on track all of these years. It is something that I enjoy. And plus, once you start doing it for a couple weeks, a couple months, and especially after a couple years, it is second nature to me. It maybe takes me an extra 5 to 10 minutes in my full day to track my food, use my app. It's really not that time consuming. A lot of people will say, oh my gosh, I don't know how you do that every day. Like, I just couldn't do that. But once things become a habit and it becomes second nature and you have all the foods already programmed in your app, it's really not a big deal. It's not extra time, and it's something that, again, I know is keeping me on track, and so it's something that I really love. But if you can stay on track with intermittent fasting, or you can stay on track with doing keto in a healthy way, or whatever it is, like, that's totally fine. You just have to find what you enjoy that's sustainable, because anytime you do a diet and you are like, I'm hungry right now and I'm like starving myself, or I'm having to cut out foods that I love, or you're going out to eat with friends and you're like, I can't have this, I can't have that, I can't have this. That is not a way to live. It is not sustainable, and chances are you are never going to stick to it. So the 5th thing that I did was I created small daily habits. So I think a mistake that a lot of people make when they want to get healthy or they want to lose weight is they try to go from 0 to 100. So they say, I'm not working out right now, but my goal is to go to the gym 6 days a week and to never drink pop and to never have fast food. And it's like these things that they're doing on a daily basis, or things that they're never doing. And they're just trying to go from nothing to all, again, 0 to 100. And it's not sustainable, and you are going to get burnt out. So what I did in the beginning is I was eating, like, you guys might not believe this, but I'm telling you, I was the epitome of unhealthy. I was eating fast food 5, 6, 7 times a week. I was drinking pop, soda. I know most people call it soda. I'm from Michigan, even though I live in Arizona, so we call it pop there. But I was drinking pop multiple times a week. I was eating fast food almost every single day. I was eating no nutrient-dense foods. I was barely drinking any water. I mean, it was bad. So instead of going from 0 to 100, I told myself, I'm just gonna start by drinking this much water, eating vegetables with every meal, and cutting out fast food. And so every single couple weeks or every month, what I would do once I stuck to those goals, saw results, felt results, I was motivated to create more habits for myself. So over time, I would just say, okay, now that I've done this, now I'm gonna add on this habit, now I'm gonna add on this habit, now I'm gonna add on this habit. And that seemed to be really, really effective for me. I also want to recommend a book called The Compound Effect. You guys can look it up on Amazon. Actually, I will link it below for you guys. That way it's easy to find. It is a life-changing book. It teaches you about how your little small daily habits that you don't think anything about compound over time and give you your results in years to come. It's crazy, it's mind-blowing, it's an amazing book, totally changed my life. I actually read it after I had already gotten into health and fitness, so for me it was more about like business and cleaning, because I have become a cleaner person over the years, and that book has helped me with both my business and being like a more clean person. But it's awesome for fitness and health purposes and just creating any positive habits you want in your life. So I cannot recommend that book enough. It's phenomenal. So again, creating small daily habits or weekly habits or monthly habits is really, really key. And again, it's going to help you from getting burnt out and trying to go from 0 to 100. The 6th thing that I did was I documented my wins. So this is where my Instagram was really helpful, because I was documenting photos on there and I was able to see my progress. But it's really, really important to document your wins. You don't have to post them on the internet at all. Just take progress photos for yourself and be sure that you are not only measuring your progress through the scale. That is a huge mistake that I see all of the time. There are so many factors when it comes to weight. You have your muscle, you have your fat, you have water weight. There's so many different factors. So there have been times where I have weighed exactly what I weigh right now and my body looked completely different. So that's an amazing example of how you don't only want to track your progress through the scale. My personal opinion on the best way to track progress, other than obviously how you feel, is taking photos, because you see yourself every day, so you're not necessarily going to notice the little changes that are happening. But if you're taking photos every 2, 3, or 4 weeks, you can look back at the photo from a few weeks ago and go, oh my gosh, wow, I look different there and I didn't even notice. So it's really, really encouraging when you start to see results, and that is what is going to motivate you to keep going. Like if you can tell yourself, set some goals and say, I'm gonna work out this many times a week and I'm gonna eat this way. Even though it's really hard in the beginning, if you can stick to that for like 4 to 6 weeks, just commit and keep taking pictures along that time. Once you see those photos at the end of that 4 or 6 weeks, that in itself is going to motivate you to continue on your journey because you saw results. So it's really hard to stay motivated when you're like, oh my gosh, I've done this for a week, I don't look any different, I'm done, because you've worked really hard and you haven't seen the results. But if you can do it long enough, again, to see the results, you're going to want to continue working harder, adding habits, and it will just eventually become a lifestyle. Something else I want to mention is just not comparing your journey to anybody else's journey, staying in your own lane, focusing on your wins, whether that's keeping a journal, again, progress photos, cannot recommend enough, but just really tracking any progress that you have gained. And as far as Instagram goes, if there are Instagram accounts that are just you followed them because you thought it was going to be motivating and it's not motivating you, and you find yourself in this comparison game, just unfollow them. Follow accounts that make you feel good, that make you feel motivated, that educate you, that teach you things about health and fitness. But just, do whatever you can to separate yourself from comparison, stay in your own lane, track your own progress, and this is going to help you just enjoy the journey. The last thing that I want to mention is the beginning of the journey is always going to be the toughest. So the first, 4 to 6 weeks, like I was saying, it's going to be hard because you might not necessarily be seeing those changes. But the beautiful thing is that once you get on this journey and you've been on it for months or especially years, you are going to be able to have more balance in your life. So like if I don't work out for an entire week, or I go out to eat 3 days in a row and I don't track my macros or whatever, I just get totally off track, it doesn't affect my results, because what we are doing most of the time is what's going to make up our results. So if 80% of the time you are eating great foods, you are tracking your macros, you are hitting the gym, and then 10 to 20% of the time you are kind of not being perfect, that small amount is not going to reflect in the way that you look and you feel. It's what we're doing most of the time. So although I do believe in the beginning, you have to be a lot more strict, you have to be a lot more committed, it's not like that forever. And I think that that's what pushes a lot of people away and out of their journey, because they're like, I can't live like this. But again, it's just stay committed and do the hard things in the beginning, so that once your journey continues, you're gonna learn your balance. Like, I wouldn't be able to stick to these things if I had to be crazy obsessed all the time, but I'm not. I've just learned how to make it a lifestyle, and that's just a matter of sticking through the first month or two when it's really, really hard. So those are basically all of the tips that I have. That is everything that I did to lose the weight, keep it off, and basically just propel my journey to where it is today. And I really hope this was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Also, be sure to leave any questions you have in the comments below. I am happy to answer them, or anything I didn't talk about in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.